Good afternoon to everyone who's joining us today. A very warm welcome to you all. My name is Ajalu Atubi, and I'm honored to be your host and moderator for today's section, which is Artificial Intelligence for Sustainable Rangelands, Responsible AI, Climate Resilience, and Pastoral Innovation in Africa. Our guest speaker for today's section is Miss Margaret Thomas. She is an artificial intelligence and cultural innovation advocate with a strong interest in leveraging emerging technologies to support sustainable farming system, climate resilience, and pastoral development across Africa. She is passionate about promoting responsible AI solutions that empower rural communities, enhance food security, and drive inclusive agricultural transformation. Ms. Margaret, thank you for being here. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toby. Good afternoon. Okay, glad to be here. So I'd like to share my screen. I wanted to share my screen, but it seemed like you disabled it. Can you hear me, please?
Yes. Let me check. Okay.
Yeah. It says the host disabled it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, it is on now. You can share your screen now.
Can you see my screen? Please confirm if you can see my screen.
I can't see your screen.
My God. Can you see my screen?
No. I can't see your screen.
Oh. I'm already sharing. Let me see.
Okay.
Can you see?
Still the same thing. Okay. Let me on and off the.
Okay.
Okay, you can try again now.
Can you see the screen?
Still the same. I can't see the screen. I don't know why I can't see this.
Oh, but how do we do this now?
Okay, let's just continue. I will share the slides with everyone later.
Okay. Hold on. Confirm if you can see it now. Can you?
I can't see it. It is showing just plain black for now.
So I think I'll just go on.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about AI for sustainable rangelands. responsible AI, climate resilience, and pastoral innovation in Africa. So I'll just start off with a little question for us all. How do we
Okay.
feel growing a population while protecting ecosystems and supporting millions of pastoralists facing climate change? Well, I'll be speaking on how artificial intelligence can support sustainable rangelands, strengthen climate resilience, and drive pastoral innovation across Africa. So I am someone that is passionate about both agricultural development and emerging technologies. So, and I believe we are at a critical moment where innovation can help us address some of the most pressing challenges that we face in pastoral communities. So I would like us to begin with a question. How do we feel growing a population while protecting our ecosystems and supporting millions of pastoralists who are already facing the impact of climate change? So, this is one of the defining challenges of our time. And across Africa, pastoral communities they depend heavily on natural resources, because they have to buy natural resources such as water, the grass. So and their livelihood are closely linked to rainfall patterns, grazing conditions, and water availability and the health of their livestock, of course. Unfortunately, many of these factors are being increasingly unpredictable because you cannot predict rainfall patterns, you cannot predict the grazing conditions, you cannot predict the water availability because a river you see today might be dry tomorrow. So this is why conversations like this are very, very important. Please let me know if you're following, right? Are you with
Hold on.
me?
Yes, I'm with you. Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Oh, correct. So why rangelands matter? Rangelands are often overlooked when discussing agricultural developments, yet they are incredibly important, like very, very important, even though most times they are overlooked. When you say agriculture, people just talk about crops, just crops. Rangelands are overlooked. So, and these rangelands, they support millions of livestock keepers and they contribute significantly to food production. They contribute to employment and they contribute to rural economies. But for many communities, livestock are not only a source of income. Like people do not just do livestock because they just want to earn money, but also it's a source of identity. Of course, when you hear a Fulani man, the next thing you're thinking about is cow. So it is an identity. It is a culture for people. Livestock has become culture for people. It has become identity for people, and it has also become social security. So healthy rangelands support healthy livestock, and healthy livestock supports resilient communities. Now, protecting these ecosystems is therefore both an environmental and economic priority. It has become environmental and it has become an economic priority. Now, the reality on the ground is climate change is reshaping African rangelands. Today, pastoral communities face multiple challenges. Climate change is increasing temperatures and making droughts more frequent and severe. Rainfall patterns are becoming more unpredictable because you can't predict rainfall patterns. Land degradation is reducing the availability of quality pastures because some lands are weakened. Some lands people are putting things that they are not even supposed to put on the land, so it has degraded these lands, and therefore anything that affects the land affects whatever you produce on that land. Competition over grazing land and water resources is increasing in many regions. The result is often reduced has also reduced livestock productivity, income loss, food insecurity, and in some cases, causes conflict a lot. You can see in some now I would be using Nigeria because I'm a Nigerian. So and how most times when you hear maybe places like Taraba, you hear, oh, the thieves and the Jukuns are fighting, it's always because of the pastures, always because of the farmlands. So these challenges require innovation and scalable solutions. Now, rangeland health matters. Healthy rangelands sustain livelihood, biodiversity, and our future. So when a rangeland is healthy, you have a productive vegetation. When rangeland is healthy, you have healthy soils, that's good ground cover, and you have less erosion. When a rangeland is healthy, you have reliable water sources from places like the springs, the streams, wells support life. When the rangeland is healthy, you have well nourished animals, higher productivity. Those are healthy livestock. And when when a rangeland is also healthy, you have strong livelihood and biodiversity. So you have resilient communities and you have wildlife, like the wildlife thrive. But if a rangeland is degraded, you have a sparse vegetation, which is loss of plant cover and diversity. You have degraded soils, which can lead to erosion, can lead to poor soil health, can lead to low fertility. You have scarce water when the rangeland is degraded. There's scarcity of water, that is from dry water sources. It also reduces availability of water. When the rangeland is degraded, you have unhealthy livestock, that's poor body conditions, low productivity. When the rangeland is degraded, you have fragile livelihood and biodiversity, meaning communities and wildlife struggle to survive. They will definitely struggle to survive. Now, why artificial intelligence? This is where artificial intelligence becomes relevant. Now, AI is not just simply about robots or complex machines, or when we hear about AI, it has to be robots or complex machines. No. At its core, AI helps us analyze large amounts of data, of course. It identify patterns and make better decisions. Today, we have access to enormous amounts of information from satellite, weather station, mobile phones, research institutions, and agricultural databases because of AI. Now, formerly, we couldn't do a lot of these things. Formerly, you just have to stay and whatever the future holds, that's what you know about weather, whether the rain will fall today or it will not fall today. But now, because of AI, we can tell that, oh, it's going to rain at about so time. It's going to rain at about so time. It's going to do this at about so time. Now, the challenge is making sense of this information. AI helps transform data into actionable insights that can support farmers. I remembered one of few years ago, we're working in one of the local governments in Adamawa, and I think for more than 1 month, people had already planted, they had put their fertilizer, there was no rainfall. But for those of us that used AI, we already saw that, oh, from so period for 6 weeks straight, there would be no rainfall. in this specific area. So we are already taking caution. We are taking caution already. But for persons that have not started using it, they don't even know about AI. They went ahead and did this whole planting process, and it led to different like huge losses on the farm. Why? Because AI had already helped us to analyze this climate weather forecasting and the rest. So it helps um, support farmers, pastoralists, government, and development organizations. Now, AI for climate resilience. One of the most promising applications of AI is climate forecasting. Imagine being able to predict drought conditions weeks or months before they occur. Like there are places that you would okay to just say so period that would be drought in this area, so avoid going to this area. And when it comes, you actually see that yes, it actually happened. So why? Because um AI had helped to predict already. Imagine providing pastoralists with timely information that helps them prepare for water shortages or adjust livestock movement plans. So all these our cattle grazers, they tell them, see, so time when you go to this area, there will be no water, there will be no plants, and they would plan for it. They will plan for that moment, right? So instead of reacting to climate disasters after they happen, communities can take preventive actions. And this shift from crisis response to preparedness and can significantly reduce losses and improve resilience. So, in a continent where climate variability is increasing, this capability is becoming increasingly valuable to the community. Now, AI powered grazing intelligence. Another important application is grazing management. So, using satellite imagery and machine learning, AI can monitor vegetation conditions across large areas. It can identify where pasture is healthy, where degradation is occurring, and where grazing pressure may be too high. So this information can support more sustainable land management practices, and it also helps in decision making, making balanced livestock need the environment conversations. So ultimately, smarter grazing decisions can lead to healthier ecosystems and improve productivity. Are you with me? I don't just want to be talking. Am I running?
Yes, 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 yes,
Am I
yes.
rushing?
No,
Okay.
no, no.
All right. So, protecting livestock through AI. How do we protect livestock through AI? Now, livestock health is another area where AI can make a significant difference. So, disease outbreak can spread quickly and have devastating consequences for pastoral households. Sorry, give me a moment. Give me a moment. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Sorry for that. So I was talking about protecting livestock through AI. So AI powered systems can help detect patterns that indicate emerging disease risks. Mobile reporting tools, digital surveillance system, and image recognition technologies can support faster diagnosis and responses. So with all this, earlier detection means fewer livestock losses and stronger food security outcome. Now, the lifeline of pastoral system. Water is one of the most critical resources for pastoral communities, like one of the most critical resources for pastoral communities. Even we as humans can't survive without water. Talk more of these livestock. So as climate pressures increase, managing water effectively becomes even more important. AI can help map water sources, predict shortages, and support more efficient allocation of resources. So this information allows communities and decision makers to plan ahead and reduce vulnerability during periods of scarcity. So access to reliable water information can be transformative for livestock dependent communities. Of course, you know there are a lot of communities, especially when it has to do with our local communities. We always have water issues. Like we always have water issues. The well always gets dried and the rest. But can AI help prevent conflict? Do you think AI can help prevent conflict? Hello?
Okay, I'm not really sure that's possible because the way conflict is like, but AI can just help minimize it because there are some stuff that actually like cause conflicts, but with AI and stuff like that, it can minimize it, but not entirely stop it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. In many regions, competitions over land and water resources can create tensions between different people, between different um, community members. So even though AI cannot solve conflict on its own, AI can support better decision making. Have you tried talking to Chat GPT sometimes? Maybe sometimes when you need answer, you write, "Hi, Chat GPT. I'm thinking this, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking this. Please help out." And it actually gives you good advice. Have you tried it?
Yes, yes. It gives you a lot of options, like good options to pick from.
You see how brilliant it comes, right? Even when sometimes maybe you'll be like, "Oh, hi, ChatGPT. Someone just spoke to me in this manner. I'm angry, but I do not want to respond in this way. What do you think I should do?" Do you know, at that moment, the kind of response he gets, it feels like a human is actually trying to calm your nerves. Like you feel relaxed. It actually advises you rightly than how a lot of humans would actually advise you calmly. So while AI cannot solve conflict on its own, but it can support better decision making. Through resource mapping, monitoring, and forecasting, AI can provide evidence that supports planning and dialogue. So when stakeholders have access to accurate information, it becomes easier to make informed decisions about resources used. In this way, technology can contribute to peace building and sustainable resource management. Now, indigenous knowledge plus artificial intelligence, meaning our normal local knowledge and artificial intelligence. One of the most important points I want to emphasize today is that AI should complement indigenous knowledge and not replace it. So AI should be able to help us and not replace us, right? So pastoral communities possess generations of environmental knowledge. They understand seasonal patterns, animal behavior, grazing systems, and local ecosystem in ways that technology alone cannot replicate. The most effective solutions combine traditional knowledge with modern innovation. When local wisdom and artificial intelligence work together, definitely we are going to achieve better results, better outcomes. Now, some of the barriers we have to address, despite the opportunities, several challenges still remain. Many rural communities face limited internet connectivity and inadequate digital infrastructure. Like, till date, there are communities that have never had light in their life. Like, they have never, ever, ever, ever had light. So they also have no internet connectivity. There are communities that when we go to work, we have to provide logistics for them, bring them out of their area. Like, it can take you 2 hours just to travel out of that zone to bring them to where you can use internet and do your data collection. So digital literacy level is also low, very low. Funding constraints can limit innovation and scaling effort. Of course, for everything we need to do, we need money, whatever, whether training, digital literacy, whatever, we need funding. So funding constraints can also limit innovation in places like that and scaling efforts. There are also important concerns related to data governance and privacy, of course. And addressing these barriers requires investment, collaboration, and long-term commitment. So, Africa has a tremendous opportunity to shape its own AI future. We must invest in local talent, we must invest in local research, and we must invest in locally relevant solutions. Government, universities, private sector organizations, development partners, and communities all have a role to play in this. So, by working together, we can create technologies that reflect African realities and address African priorities. So, this is not simply about adopting technology, it's about building innovation ecosystems and ecosystems that support sustainable development. So, as I conclude, I would like to leave you with 5 key messages. First, climate change is reshaping Africa's rangeland. Climate change is reshaping African rangelands. Two, AI offers powerful tools for improving resilience and sustainability. AI offers powerful tools for improving resilience and sustainability. Three, responsible and ethical deployment of AI is essential. Fourth, indigenous knowledge remains a valuable asset. And fifth, but not the least, collaboration is critical to achieving meaningful impact. So thank you very much for paying attention. I appreciate the
Sorry,
opportunity.
sorry, can you just repeat the 5 key?
Okay. The first is climate change is reshaping African rangeland.
Okay.
Second is AI offers powerful tools for improving resilience and sustainability.
Okay, go on.
Third is responsible and ethical development of AI is essential. Responsible and ethical development of AI is essential.
Mhm.
Fourth is indigenous knowledge remains a valuable asset. Indigenous knowledge remains a valuable asset. And five, collaboration is critical to achieving meaningful impact. Did you get that?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to share this thought with you today.
Mm.
And yeah, it's open for questions.
Oh, thank you very much, Miss Margaret, for that wonderful presentation. Um, Let me start by asking my own question. My one question is, How can we make sure these technical AI solutions are easy for remote communities to understand and trust? That's my question.
Sorry, come again.
How can we make sure these technical AI solutions are easy for remote communities to understand and trust? Hello?
Sorry,
Please let me
I
hear you.
I I only heard how can we make sure? What did you say?
Okay, hold on, let me repeat my question. How can we make sure these technical AI solutions are easy for remote communities to understand and trust?
Okay. So these remote communities, even though we can't give it 100% that they can easily understand AI, get AI, trust AI. But one thing is consistency. And from my experience with these remote communities, um, seeing is believing. When they see that things actually work, when they see the merits of innovations, they pick fast. When they see the advantages of these things, they pick fast. So they might not be able to buy these technical ideas, these AIs in day one, but
Okay.
gradually we get to inculcate them into them. They get to understand, and hopefully that they get to trust too. They get to trust, and gradually we get to change the narrative in these remote communities.
Okay, thank you. Let me add one more question before asking if anyone has a question. How can we maintain an healthy rangeland and prevent it from being degraded? Is there a way we can maintain it? Do you get my question?
So yes, maintaining healthy rangelands requires it requires balancing livestock, the vegetations, the soil, the water resources. You know that the goal is actually to ensure that the land remains very productive, right?
Yes.
So today, while we preserve these lands for the future generations, we also try our best to preventing the degradation. So, and preventing it involves sustainable grazing practices. So, protecting vegetation's cover, um, um, conserving water resources, and we also engage in local communities in land management decisions. So schooling is everything. Educating these people is everything. So for instance, if if you say, okay, if you burn this land, this is what will happen to this soil. This is what will happen to this soil. It goes practical. If they actually burn the land and the land that is not burnt, and in few months later they get to see the difference between these two land, I believe in the next season they will not want to burn that land again. And some of the key strategies to healthy range land, you see, number one, you practice rotational grazing, which is you move livestock between grazing areas. You don't just keep them in one place. You allow grass and vegetation time to recover. So after feasting on this grass, this vegetation, you need to allow it to recover. Don't just kill the soil. You know, you need to control stocking rates. You match the number of animals to the land's carrying capacity. You avoid putting excessive pressure on pastoral resources. You protect vegetation cover. And how do you protect vegetation cover? You maintain healthy grass and plants populations. You reseed degraded areas, like where they are necessary, you can reseed them. Maybe you know that sometimes when you go to like a farmland, there are places that maybe when everything is growing in the other place, there are specific places that nothing is growing there. You can try to reseed, right? Now you can
Okay.
also try soil conservation by reducing soil erosion through proper land management. Proper land management is very essential. Maintain plant cover to protect the topsoil itself. Then you also encourage organic matter buildup in the soil, like it is not every time we get to put chemical on top of these lands. Sometimes we have to practice organically. So you encourage organic matter buildup into the soil. And the very important one is water resource management. You need to protect rivers, ponds, watering points, protect livestock concentration around a single water source, right? And you need to develop a sustainable water harvesting system. So, but in fact, there are lots. We don't have that time for it, but it's very broad, like very, very broad.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If anyone has any question, please go on.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please go on with your question.
Good
Okay, I want
afternoon.
to ask that what's the like single biggest barrier that you can use to get all these AI tools into the hand of local pastoralists?
Did you hear her? Like I was not able to understand.
Please come again with your question. Please come again.
Okay, I said I want to ask that what is the biggest barrier to getting these AI tools into the hands of local pastoralists?
So, if I understand your question correctly, sorry, I don't know if it's your speaker, but what I heard is what is the biggest barrier to getting this AI to local pastoralists? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, the biggest barrier is not technology itself, honestly. It is the accessibility and the trust. Toby asked question, how can we get them to trust? That's the biggest barrier. First of all, how to access them and for them to trust you. So many of these local pastoralists live in remote areas with limited internet connectivity, low digital literacy, language barriers too. Language barrier is also one of it, and limited access to smartphones or digital devices. So even when AI solutions are available, adoption remains low if communities do not understand how the technology works or how it benefits their daily livelihood. So you can't just go to a local pastoralist and tell him, oh, you need to buy a smartphone of 100,000 naira so it can help you this, da, 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 da. The way they are even going to look at you, because first of all, you need to access them well. So accessibility and trust is one of the biggest barrier. So then followed by low digital literacy, language barriers, and and the rest.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. I think that that's all. Thank you very much, Miss Margaret, for sharing such incredible insights with us today. Thank you for your time. And thank you to everyone in the audience. We are
Thank you.
coming to the end of the event. Have a wonderful rest of your day and goodbye, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.